So I was gonna work on the 17 STI today and continue on like cleaning up wiring, but you know, I went in there, got inside of the car and I looked at it and I was like, I just don't want to do this today. So I decided I'm just gonna take a day to myself. And with that, I want to spend some time detailing the 05 STI because it's pretty gross right now and I kind of miss making videos on the 05, so we're gonna mix it up and just throw in a relaxing, chill detailing video today. Plus I haven't washed or cleaned this thing in a hot minute, and there's like bird poop on it up here, bird poop on the mirror. It is like covered in dust and other gross schmoo right now. So we're gonna, and bird poop right there. How did a bird poop right there? We're gonna take some time, actually clean this thing up today. I'd like to do a full detail and like paint correction on it if I can. I've got like a pop-up tent that we can put around this thing if the sun does become an issue, but I'm excited to get this thing cleaned up and take a break from you. As much as I enjoy working on you, I just need a break from the wiring. Plus our ECU gets dropped off on Friday, so we're gonna be doing a lot more wiring stuff. My collection of OEM parts for this car is growing. Got like the thermostat, the coolant temp sensor, a whole bunch of bolts, hardware and whatnot that I need to replace on this thing. So a ton of stuff is going to be happening with the 17 STI again this weekend, but I just want to break from wiring. So both Chemical Guys and Meguiar sent me some stuff to try out that I'm like super curious, because the 05 out there definitely needs the love. So this, I mean, a lot of you guys asked me what I used to like detail my car, so here you go. This is like the little like foam gun that I use. It's just an attachment onto a hose, but it works pretty well because then I don't got to hook up the pressure washer, deal with all that. Once the car, and I use this like honeydew like foam auto wash soap. It's pretty good. I like that stuff. I'm like almost out, as you guys can see. Once we get that done and the car is like washed and cleaned up, they sent me over this clay block cleaning system. Fastest way to clay. I've never used this before. Normally I use traditional clay, but I'm kind of curious to see how it comes out. Normal clay lube, and then I want to go through and correct the paint on the car a little bit. So Chemical Guys sent this over. It's just a correction compound. I've never used it before. Typically, whenever I like seal a car, I'll use this jet seal stuff, which works awesome. Meguiar's also sent over some of their Ultra Pro Speed compound, so I might use like a little bit of both there just to see what I like a little bit more. Once the paint's been corrected, we're gonna go over it with this perfect polish for the paint, and then after that, I do want to put a, what is this, a carbon force ceramic protective coating on there. This is actually really cool. I've heard like good things about this. I want to try that out. Meguiar sent me some over also that I want to try using on the 17 STI or one of the other cars, and then I'll probably follow it up and like continue to keep up maintenance on the paint with this Hydro Speed stuff from Chemical Guys. I've got a Meguiar's version 2. I'll probably be testing out both of them to see which one I like. For buffers, it's just a Griot's Garage one, and then I've got a plethora of brand new pads here. I also want to polish the glass on that car, which I think I have some, what is it, Griot window polish in here somewhere. That's sealant. So I've got this glass sealant stuff, which I like. It cleans up glass pretty well. Normally I just put it on a polishing pad and go to town on the glass on the car. So let's start things off easy. Let's get the car washed. We'll grab 2 buckets, get them filled up with some nice warm water, and get that car out there nice and clean. Before we actually wash the car and start detailing it, I want to fix this window. So I'm pretty sure the alignment on the window isn't right, which is why it isn't sealing with the seal up here. I still don't have the new one yet. So I want to try messing with this window. So the door card's going to come off. We're going to roll the window all the way down. There's 2 10mm bolts that hold the window to the track, because I did pull this window out of the car when I had to swap the regulator and all that stuff. So maybe I just didn't align it right. So let me pull off the door card. Let me get to those 2 10s, and then I will try adjusting the window to see if that fixes it. So I'm sure a new seal would help on this, but I'm pretty sure I fixed it, because before there was a tiny gap right there where I could see inside of the car, and that's gone. So hopefully that stupid wind noise stopped. Let's start with washing this thing, get all the bird poo off, because we don't like that. Bro, this tent just kicked my ass. I spent probably 25 minutes trying to figure out how to open this thing. We're gonna work around the car. We're gonna start up here in the front. I think I want to get the hood clay barred. I'm gonna put some tires around this thing so that way it doesn't blow away. We're gonna get the hood clay barred, then we're gonna try paint correcting the hood, just because it's a big enough surface to work with. Once we paint correct it, then we'll polish it and kind of see how it looks from there. If it looks good, then we'll try this ceramic stuff that Chemical Guy sent us, this carbon force ceramic paint protection. So Let's bust out the orbital. Well, let's bust out the clay bar this thing, and then see how we're looking with the paint correction done on here. So I just finished the hood and it looks a million times better. I don't know how well the scratches will actually show up on here, but I mean, right there in the sun, you can see the scratches. So up here, they're all gone. That is like, hello. I mean, you can't see me because of the shadow, but that looks so much better. And it took so freaking long to get the hood done. But the way I'm looking at it is the hood's the biggest piece. Surface area wise, I think the roof might be a little bit comparable to that, but Jesus. So I quickly found out I am my own worst enemy when doing this. Like I said, millions of times in all of the other detailing videos, I'm no professional detailer, but the amount of product I was using on the pad was like, you can see like right there, way too much. Right there, a little bit better. And then on that last one, like perfect. So I'm doing that cutting compound first, then the polishing, then the jet seal, and then I'm using this carbon ceramic stuff from Chemical Guys. I like this stuff. I don't know what it is, but that's some fancy stuff right there. So next up, I want to continue on the front end. I don't like doing the bumper, so I'll probably do the bumper last. I want to do a fender right here just to see how the fender comes out, because if it's going to come out the same way as the hood, I'm pumped. So let's get this fender knocked out, compare it over to the hood. If everything is still going, we're just going to move our way down the side. So this side came out immaculate. The paint is like stupid clean, stupid smooth, and it looks absolutely killer right now. But I'm still having the same problem that I had up on the hood, which is whenever I go to use the, where is it? This stuff right here. This correcting compound, the correcting compound just doesn't want to come off the paint. Doesn't matter how little of it I use, it does not want to come off the paint. So I'm going to try this next portion without the cutting compound, which is going to be this top piece here, part of the roof, and this fender here. So that's going to be my next area that I'm focusing on. I'm going to try to just polish this. Once it's polished, then we'll put the jet seal on it, and then we'll actually use that ceramic coat stuff from Chemical Guys. Now that stuff, I personally really like it. I don't know what kind of black magic this stuff is, but whatever it is, 10 out of 10 on that. So let's get back to this thing and try this new technique that I'm about to whirl up with that guy. The roof came out pretty solid, pretty happy with that. Now this side, all done. Actually, this entire side is all done. Roof is done. Guardrail guy up there is done. Mirror is done. The rear, I'm only going to try to hit a couple spots with the buffer, and that's like right. Actually, I already tried to pull that out last time I did this. So I remember that wasn't coming out at all when I did this last time. So honestly, I'm beat. Like that orbital over there just kicks your ass when you're doing this, especially when you're swapping between pad and like continuing to go over it. Now one thing I did notice is the paint on here actually isn't that bad from last time I did this. So on the other side of the car, I'm just going to ceramic coat it with that Chemical Guys goodness. This fender right here, I am going to hit with the polisher and the jet seal to try to like clean that up, just because like there's some schmoo that's in the fender. It might have been when it got rear-ended or somebody like ran into that fender. But this door, this rear fender, this A-pillar here, I actually just did this A-pillar. I need to put that ceramic coat stuff on it. I'm just going to ceramic coat all that to the point where it is like still like super good, with the caveat of some paint defects. Like, oh geez, It is having such a hard time focusing on this because the paint is just so reflective. But like there are some paint defects that there's just nothing that I can really do about right now, just because it's either gonna have to be sanded. The paint is just gone in some spots. There was like missing paint on the roof and I had to go on there with a touch-up pen, but Jesus, man, this is a forearm workout. So let's get this side ceramic coated, get it done with, do the rear, buff that fender, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day because this is way more tiring than I remember it being. So we are on to day 2 of detailing the STI. Now yesterday I thought I did a killer job on the paint. It's mediocre at best. But the important thing here is that every time I do this, it gets a little bit better. The results get just a little bit better. That's probably a combination of the products that I use, trying to find the ones that I like and the ones that work best for me, and technique. Because I will give a huge like credit to every single detailer out there. Your forearms are probably massive from using an orbital all day. Second, there's a lot of technique that goes into this stuff, but let me show you guys the results from yesterday, and then we have a little bit more that we're doing today just to wrap things up on the detail. The majority of it looks a lot better. Now this is the area that I thought I did a decent job on, and there's still a ton of scratches in there. Like there's less than there was before, but there's still a decent amount. Here all this looks incredible. The hood does look a lot better, so does the fender, the doors, everything else that I buffed and polished, but there's still certain spots that I could have done a lot better on. Now that carbon force ceramic stuff from Chemical Guys, I actually really do like that stuff. It's like this little microfiber application like sponge, and you go through and you wet it and you just do like lines going down the hood or down the fender, whatever you're like coating. You let it dry for 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and then you just wipe off any residue and you get it looking nice and clear. The paint feels like incredibly smooth now, but the one thing I have noticed is that like it feels like it's like electro charged or something like that, because all of these little particles in the air, which is all pretty much pollen right now, are all just sticking to the car, but it's not too bad. The small things that I want to do today to wrap up the car: I want to polish the glass, I want to clean the tires, I want to go over the wheels just a little bit, go over all the plastic trim pieces, and then lastly I want to polish that exhaust. So I'm gonna give my forearms quite another workout, and we are going to get the glass knocked out first. I'm just gonna go over it with some normal like glass cleaner and a rag, get any schmoo that's off the glass off, and then we're gonna go through and seal the glass with that Griot's Garage glass sealant stuff and the orbital. So let's break my forearms again. Boom. So I've only done half the car so far for all the little stuff. I got the headlight cleaned up a little bit. I still need to buy new headlights for this car. That's sometime in the future. The hyper dressing from Meguiar's does absolutely killer work. Look at that. That looks almost brand new again. It's definitely not, but it looks like it. The hyper dress, so I did the hyper dressing on the cowl, the mirror, the brand new rain guard, which even made the brand new rain guard look better than it was. Roof rails, and then the C pillar piece and the B pillar piece, and all of that. It looks killer, to be honest. Like everything, every time I try to focus on this, it tries to focus on the reflection. As for the glass, so that glass polish, that's definitely not how Griot's recommends that you guys use it. They want you to do it on like a small microfiber and do cross hatching. I found that the orbital works just fine for that if you don't mind using a little extra product, but that stuff kills it. Like you really don't realize how dirty your glass is until you go to polish it like that. And like there's still a little bit of schmutz on the inside of the window, but there's no way it's going to focus on that. But I got the inside of the glass clean too, just because it bothered me how dirty it was. But the windows themselves look like freaking mirrors at this point. It's ridiculous. Got the what is the wheel, the tire, that got the tires just dressed up. I mean, it's just tire shine on those, and then clean the wheels with just some speed white. But honestly, this car is looking like brand new as it can for being what, 16 17 years old at this point. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna say perfect because the paint definitely isn't perfect, and some of the body work, like that dent in the fender right there, but overall, I mean, it's looking pretty good. So just to give you guys a comparison over here, I haven't done anything with this headlight yet, but honestly that headlight is already in pretty good condition. No tire shine on these. Wheels are still dirty over here, but I mean, that's just cleaning the wheels, nothing like crazy there. But just to show you guys like the hyper dressing stuff, so I mean, you can see like some weathering on there. I don't know, like right there, the hyper dressing, it doesn't fix it, but it does hide the problem. So it's that's a temporary band-aid fix. You can see it a little bit better over here on that back one, like just the weathering and the age showing on that stuff. At some point I'll need to replace them. Same with both of these door trim pieces, just on all 4 of them, just because they're all starting to wear. But even on the mirror right there, like you can see how dull and like boring that, well, plastic overall is boring, but you can see how like dull it is compared to that. So I mean, that does look a lot better. So I mean, if any of you guys are looking for any of this stuff, I'll link everything I'm using down below, but that hyper dressing by Meguiar's kills it every single time. So let me knock out this side, and then all I have left to do after that is just clean the inside, which is just vacuuming and wiping everything down, because we've already shampooed the entire inside of the car. So let's wrap up this side.
Enchanté.
All clean. Probably the cleanest this car has ever been, and probably the cleanest it'll be for a while. This is typically something I like to do at least twice a year, is go over, like try to correct paint, try to clean it up, try to keep it like protected with ceramic coat and stuff like that, just so like A, UV rays don't destroy it, B, being up here in Washington we just get a lot of rain and you get like gritty rainwater on the car and it just destroys the paint even further. Now I think it's important to note that if you need to take a day just to do whatever you gotta do, like for me it was just I wanted to clean this, I wanted to detail it, and I just didn't want to work on the other car yesterday, and it bled over into today. And I mean every time I detail cars it seems like every time I detail cars it takes a little bit longer every time, because I'm A, learning new techniques, B, trying new products or trying new techniques, and trying suggestions that you guys have, because it was such a nightmare to try to get off that cutting compound from the car that it didn't want to come off. Like no matter how long I buffed it or how long I would actually use the product and try to work it into it, just didn't want to come off the paint. But I'm happy with the way it came out. Could it be better? 100%, but it's a 16-year-old car, so I mean, the way that it sits right now looks, I mean, in my personal opinion, looks pretty good. But that's all I got for you guys. So our ECU for the 17 STI gets dropped off tomorrow, Friday, and I have an extra upload for you guys tomorrow as well, which I'm looking forward to getting that one live. So in the next like couple videos, we're going to be like digging deeper into wiring, trying to get our Hall Tech to communicate with the body harness of the 2017 STI, so that way we can force the car into accessory mode. Once we get the car into accessory mode, we are like golden on wiring at that point. It's just going to be getting that Hall Tech to communicate with the CAN bus system. I have no idea how to do it. I've been reading over some Hall Tech documents, but it is what it is. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. So like I said, I'll link below everything I use for my detailing stuff. There's always going to be like different products out there that people are going to recommend. I'm totally open to your guys' suggestions as well for products and techniques as always. But with that, if you guys like the video, it's just a chill hangout day, just a day that I needed to take. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I mean, it wasn't a really exciting video, but it was a chill video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.